Hi, friends. It's Angela, and I'm here with your weekly guidance. This reading is from July 9th to the 15th. I'm excited to see what's going on this week. Last week, what a doozy. That full moon, I don't know what that full moon did with our ability to communicate, but it was like a week of weird communications, miscommunications, misunderstandings, hurt feelings, emotions coming in all directions. So let's see if things start to balance out this week. Okay. So there is some receiving of news coming in. And what's interesting is that they're really wanting us to be fair minded about it. So there will be this ability for it to kick up emotions, but they're saying, let's take this step back and not so much to like disconnect from your emotions or deny your emotions, but maybe take this ability to go, okay, hang on, before I emotionally jump to conclusions or before this kind of, goes down that rabbit hole or snowballs out of control, let me take this moment and step back and just go about it with that intellectual approach. Okay. Because it does come out with the star card, which is again very validating. So we may be at first glance go, "Ugh, this is horrible news, or this is worst case scenario, or this is not what I want to be dealing with." But it does come in, and the star card is all about reassurance, right? It says, have faith that the future is bright, dreams come true, positive changes that bring end to challenging times, the light at the end of the tunnel. There is this feeling of unexpected. So maybe that's what's throwing us off or making us feel as though this isn't for our highest good, or this is going to be a mistake, or we're not going to take this opportunity. There is this feeling and this encouragement of wanting you to hear it out, not wanting you to jump to conclusions, wanting you to take this step back. And look, the Empress card comes out, which is all about you honing your own power, time to take action, give birth to your dreams, creative projects that will be very successful, abundance and prosperity. So there's almost this quick wanting to swat it away. There's almost this quick it triggers an emotion, that wall goes up. But they're saying, no, 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 no. Don't be so quick. Don't be so quick. So wanting to take this step back, give it a chance, right? Give it a chance within yourself is what I mean. So if you step back and go, okay, let me disengage from these emotions, let me look at it clearly, and then you decide, nope, this isn't for me. Well, then perfect, right? Like that is the better approach here. If you take the step back and you're like, oh, geez, this is actually going to be something that's good for me. Or, you know what, I'm feeling nervous. That's where that emotional trigger has come in. Well, then you see where that's coming from, and it's easier for you to be able to move forward and then make a better decision. So, really, the takeaway from that message is taking that time for yourself, right? To go, okay, hang on, because like my nervous system's going ding, 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 ding. Where is this coming from? Instead of just going, absolutely nope, shut it down, there is this sense of, okay, let me see, let me go ahead with it, level minded, and then make the decision. And then no matter what you feel is the decision, it is the right decision, right? And for some of you it will be like, yeah, you know what, I knew that felt off. Or it could be like, oh, I knew that felt off, but it feels off for a different way than I first assumed. Or you'd be like, oh geez, like that was me getting in my own way here. I'm so glad that I took the step back because this is actually going to benefit me in a positive way. Okay. We also have the Hermit card coming in next. And so there really is this feeling of taking this time to go within. And what's interesting is, one, I feel like we really don't do this in the summertime, right? Coming in the summertime for us here in Canada, we're kind of like wanting to soak it up, wanting to do take it all in and go, 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 and make the most of it, right? So what happens? Our routines go out the window, our nutrition goes out the window, our sleep habits go out the window, right? And all of these things that come in maybe a little bit easier with routine as we're in the other seasons of the month seems to be a little bit willy-nilly coming in the summer months. And that's not to say, that you're doing it wrong. I totally get it. I do the same thing, right? But there's still this strong sense of like, okay, well, let's bring in some sense of this routine for you. Let's make sure that we're still making time for ourselves, making sure that we are on that priority list, making sure that we are taking care of ourselves. We can still indulge and be and do all these wonderful seasonal things, but make sure that you're taking that moment starting your day or 5 minutes at the end of the day to connect with yourself. because they're saying time spent in meditation, which is connecting with your soul self. So whether you meditate or not, being still and hearing yourself think, or hearing your own thoughts, or hearing your intuition, that is what this means, right? And what that's going to do is create more stability within yourself so that you are, in every sense, putting your best self first, right? You're making sound decisions, you're bringing, your true authentic energy, and by doing so, just by you doing this, it gives other people permission to do the same. And that is so important. And I think because it feels so wrong, because we haven't been shown, we want to be self first. We want to take care of ourselves first, because when we do, when that overflow energy that we give to each other, or give to everyone else that we love, is overflowing of love, right? We're not trying to give them our depleted energy, our crappy, burnt out energy, right? We're giving them the good stuff, right? And so by doing that, and just think, if everybody did that, if everybody took a little bit of their day to love themselves, to give them a pep talk, to kind of regulate their emotions, check in with themselves, how different are our interactions going to be? So never feel negative about that. Never feel selfish by doing that. It literally benefits everyone. But of course, wanting to benefit yourself first, wanting to make sure, because it's almost like, we want to shine this light, and we just want to make sure that there is a light in there to shine. We don't want to be completely burnt out. We don't want to be operating out of guilt. We don't want to be paralyzed with our shame. We want to give ourselves that opportunity to navigate these emotions, to bring in the energy and the rest, to bring in the kindness and the loving words to ourselves. Okay. And this is going to be something that's really important. This also may mean that you have to let go of people, places, and things that no longer serve you. So, through this realization, through this time of connection with yourself, you are bringing in the answers that you need for yourself, right? And that may be walking away of a person, place, or thing, hobby, habit, mindset, routine, vice, right? And you're recognizing, oh, you know what? This isn't for my highest good. This doesn't bring in loving, positive energy for me. I'm feeling depleted. I'm feeling like I'm hurting myself. I'm feeling like this is doing the opposite of what I wanted to do. So there is the release card that comes in. It says the ends that lead to new beginnings, the need to release situation or people that hold you back, right? And a lot of this happens within ourselves as well, you know, and we may not, you may go, oh, you know what? No, I have myself surrounded with wonderful people. But I would say it's a fair statement that we are who get in our own way the majority of the time, right? So, like these limiting beliefs that we have, these type of dialogues that happen within ourselves can really talk us out of how amazing we are, or new opportunities that come our way, or the value that we hold, right? And so I think that if you're kind of looking and going, I feel a little bit in a rut, and you know what, I can't really pinpoint what's holding me back. Look in the mirror because that there's something within you, right? And the thing is with these limiting beliefs, and if you scroll back on my content, I did an episode on limiting beliefs because they can be so sneaky, and because there's so much they are such a big part of our tapestry of who we are. It's so familiar to us that we don't even recognize it anymore. It's almost like it's on autopilot. And so until we go looking for it, right, we're like, oh my gosh, it's almost like we're jarred at it. Because I know, especially when I was learning about this for the first time and really, putting a lot of time and attention into myself and my limiting beliefs, I'm like, I can't believe that I tell myself this, right? Like it is so appalling because 9 out of 10 times it's hand me down, right? So we either heard it in our upbringing, we heard it in past relationships, the society has taught us this. This is kind of, and what it is like we have absorbed it. When we take the time and attention to kind of go within and being like, okay, what belief system is this? 9 out of 10, you don't even believe it. Yet it's dictating how you feel about yourself, the decisions that you make, and how you proceed, right? So there is this feeling of, though, self-awareness, it, does 99% of the work, right? And if you're finding yourself having a hard time trying to find this within, I always love using the reflection tool five whys. So if the five whys is this reflection tool, you can do it doing journaling, you sit quietly with yourself, but you will ask yourself a question like, why do I eat a whole chocolate cake in one sitting? Right? Whatever it is, whatever's in front of you. And you go, well, it's so delicious. Then you go, well, why? Well, because you know what? I was having a bad day and all these emotions were rising, and it just really satisfied it and brought down like these good feelings in myself. Well, why? Well, because when I was a child, this is what I did and it brought comfort. So now it's that familiar feeling and it's how I provide comfort for myself. Well, why? Well, because my parents were neglectful or abusive, or my dad was an alcoholic, and so I seek comfort myself, and this is how I found it, right? So then once you get to that why, your intuition will always click. It will all go ding, 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 ding. Now, depending on how you are, depending how savvy you are with your words, you may need 10 or 15 whys. I always say go until you get that click, that intuitive, like, this is what we need to work on. So you may be going, oh my God, I have to stop eating the cake. I don't know why I keep eating this cake. I don't know why I can't handle, make better choices nutritionally, because what is fueling that is that little child version of yourself who was self protecting because there was a lot of neglect, emotional outbursts, and lack of emotional regulations and comfort that she needed to provide herself. So you're never able to change that habit of the cake. And then this is just like an example, right? Because what we need to heal is providing comfort to that little girl, that little boy, that little version of yourself, and being able to create that feeling of comfort and safety in a different way, right? So this is why the five whys are so powerful, and how you can get down to that core that is then, triggering or creating these habits, these belief systems, these decisions that we make. And when we recognize that, because nothing is ever surface level, people, we are so deep, we are so complex. Everything that you have been through in all versions of yourself, your 1-year-old version, your 10-year-old version, your 30-year-old version, they all live within you. All of those experiences, those emotions, those um like experiences. I'm trying to find the word. I can't find the word. All of the energy from all of your life experiences live within you. They are within you. So you may be, and this is what I always say to my kids, and they don't get it, but me and my husband, we laugh. And I'm like, I'm just a little girl in an adult body, and you're making me do all the adult things. Because that's the truth, right? And I think too, as a little person, we look up to adults and go, "Oh my gosh, they have it all together. And when I'm an adult, they're going to know all their things, and you know what I mean, and nothing phases them." And but we are still that little girl, that little boy, that little version of ourselves in this adult body, right? Trying to figure it all out and trying to work through it. So being able to have this time of self-reflection, especially when there is that need to make these changes, is going to bring in so much value and information that's going to help support you as you make these decisions. There's also this feeling of like, girl, girl, or boy, or whomever, however you identify. It says you're working too hard. Okay, we're working too hard. The need to bring balance and fun into your life, juggling priorities and balancing the budget. So I know that there is such a scarcity mindset right now. It seems like almost like every second person that I'm talking to, we end up on the financial talk because of inflation, because of everything that's happening in the world around us, right? So there is this feeling of like, okay, how can we create stability here? Can we? So there's this feeling of like overdoing, overstressing, overtaking on, right? But it really does feel like we need to simplify. We need to simplify. We need to simplify, because there is this feeling, because it is fueled in scarcity. That means the belief behind this is that there's never going to be enough. If you're like, oh my God, I just need to make $500 more this week, this month, this year, whatever it is, it's never going to be enough, right? So we need to kind of go about it from a secured sense, right? Of, okay, this is going to be fine. The universe provides. I'm going to do this, but I'm not going to be manicky about it. I'm not going to be that hustle mentality about it. Maybe I'm going to say, oh, you know what? I'm going to take this and this and this off of my want list. I'm just going to wait it out. I'm going to do, so depending on your situation, you'll be able to then make adjustments, right? But there is, and you have to understand, there is this scarcity mindset that is like wildfire right now because of everything that's happening outside of ourselves. So when we are making financial decisions, we need to ground ourselves. And again, use the 5 whys. Money is one of the biggest generational hand-me-down beliefs, right? And it's either you go with what was done before you or you rebel and you do the opposite. So if your parents or grandparents grew up in the Depression, then they would be very scarcity mindset. Then your parents may be scarcity mindset. And then you'll go, well, I was never allowed to have this and this and this. I'm going to have it all. I'm going to have it all right now. And I'm not. So again, you have to be aware of the belief systems that are fueling the decisions, that are fueling how we behave, they're fueling the way that we feel about ourselves. And as we move forward, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So keeping this in mind as we then make decisions. And at the end of the day, the message is simplify. Don't take on more, simplify. Okay. And so, however you want to interpret that for you in front of yourself, think about it. Get back to the basics. Simplify instead of frantically wanting more, taking on more. Now, what's interesting is, and if you are familiar with tarot or oracle tarot, angel tarots, you know that there's 2 cards in the deck that pretty much say the same thing. Everything's kind of doubled. Well, the 2 cards just came out together. So we already read the first card that says working too hard or multiple jobs, the need to bring balance and fun into your life, juggling major or multiple priorities, balancing the budget. The second card that I just pulled out says working too hard or too many hours, the need for balance in life, let others help you, health problems due to stress. And listen, if we can't regulate our stress, or if the universe is telling us to simplify and to slow down and we don't, it will slow us down. We'll get sick. We'll get an fender bender. We'll roll our ankle, right? So there is this, it's always in our best interest to listen to spirit. So as I started talking about this last message and you tuned me out and you're like, whatever, Ange, they repeated themselves. So you better dang hear them because the universe is talking. All right. But overall, I know so much came in. That was a lot of information, but a lot of it is that tools of what you need to create this better feeling experience for yourself. So I really hope that you do take time this week to simplify, that you do take the time this week to sit with yourself and to check in with yourself and do a little inventory of like, what can I keep? What can I let go of? Am I happy? What do I need? Do I need rest? Do I need to drink more water? Do I need to hug my sister? Like, what is it that I need? Right. And having these check-ins with yourself is really going to bring in such beautiful impact, right? And it's really going to bring in this feeling of providing for yourself what it is that you need. And again, in alignment with what Spirit said, in alignment with the feelings of, we want to simplify. The answers are always way more simple. It is always way more simple than what we expect, right? So it's not supposed to be tricky. Listening to yourself, loving yourself, listening to your intuition, connecting with your soul, connecting with your divine team, trying to figure out how to proceed. It's not meant to be tricky. The universe, God put us here with this divine support, with this ability for communication back and forth using our intuition. So we need to simplify our life. We need to heal what needs to be healed. We need to let go of these belief systems that harm us and keep us complacent and keep us stuck so that we can hear and trust our soul self. And when you do, and when you get to that point, I'm telling you, you'll never feel alone again. We will still have challenges and struggles in life. Nobody's immune to that, but you will navigate them more smoothly. There'll be less of this torment or this acute fear of you're going to mess it up, it's going to be the wrong thing, right? So by taking this time now is only going to bring in increased value for you moving forward. And not only for you, for those around you and for those who love you. So remember, we are not only responsible for the energy that we allow into our life, we are responsible for the energy that we give out as well. All right. So I'm going to leave that with you. I hope that this helps and I wish you all the best. I'll be back next week with your weekly guidance.